he has PTSD, to deal with it, not go to a doctor at a cannabis clinic where they're going to, of course, prescribe you marijuana.
They're MDs licensed by the state of Texas. I mean, that's just like...
I don't know that.
Judge Flea is taking a firm stance on a complex DWI case involving medical marijuana, sparking a heated debate. The defendant facing a DWI charge for marijuana presented a controversial defense, a valid medical cannabis prescription. However, Judge Flesch expressed serious concerns, stating, "I have a problem allowing someone who has a DWI because of marijuana. Continuing to allow him to smoke marijuana, Judge demanded immediate verification of the prescription and a temporary cessation of use, questioning the necessity of marijuana over other medications and pushing for answers from the prescribing doctor. I'd like to know why there's no other way to medicate." Judge challenged, highlighting the defendant's concerning history. 6 arrests since 2018, all linked to drugs or alcohol. Judge also expressed skepticism about the impartiality of cannabis clinics, insisting the defendant consult a legitimate psychiatrist. The case raises significant questions about the boundary between medical treatment and legal regulation. In the context of medical cannabis use, can the court accept the use of medical cannabis when it's involved in a criminal case? Stay tuned for more on this developing story.
Judge, they called the Texas numbers.
Saba actually called a line and has information to the court. I don't know if it's going to be helpful to resolve things today, but I think it will be helpful to move things in the future, potentially. So.
Judge, so I spoke to, what's the name of the
Texas Compassionate
Use
Texas program.
Compassionate Use Program. I spoke to them. They're going to give me, they said, confirmation within 1 to 3 business days regarding whether or not the defendant in fact does have a medical marijuana card.
I have a problem allowing someone who has a DWI because of marijuana continuing to allow them to smoke marijuana.
Let's verify first that he does have a lawful prescription through the state of Texas.
I'm going to tell him no smoking for now until we're able to verify something.
Okay.
No, but he has a DWI for marijuana.
We're going to be like you telling a diabetic they can't have their insulin. It's a
no.
Just because you disagree with it doesn't
That's a
mean
life diabetic medication. It's a life-saving information. This is not.
I mean, marijuana is too now. We don't know. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. We're not researchers. But enough has happened with the legislature has approved this, and the prescription has been. If it's truly a valid prescription from the state of Texas, I think there's a problem with this, Judge.
I'm going to tell you, even if he has a valid prescription, I have a problem allowing someone to use marijuana when they're on bond for a DWI with marijuana.
I get that, but that's not Judge. That's not appropriate. I mean, what you're saying is, if that is a true legal medication, you're saying that you just don't agree with that medication. If it's truly a legal prescription, that's what I'm getting at. And I'm not trying to pick this
Come up, sir.
Come up. But I want
to know why there's no other way to medicate.
That's for a doctor to tell us. Is I don't know, Judge. I'm not qualified to that opinion.
I'd like to talk to the doctor who prescribed it to figure out why there's no other reasonable way to medicate.
If the doctor will talk to you, I mean, we will. Let's wait to get the confirmation from the state of Texas that it is a true lawful prescription. I'm not trying to pick this fight with you if it's not. That's
interesting.
Stupid on my part. But
listen, I have thick skin, and I'm not going to begrudge you for zealously advocating for your client, but at the same time, also have thick skin that I have a DWI. It's a marijuana DWI. And anytime I have a DWI with whatever substance that is, I have them stop using whatever substance that contributed to the DWI, whether it's alcohol, whether it's pills, whether it's marijuana in this case, whether it's psilocybin, whether it's acid, meth.
What if it's Xanax or cyclobenzaprine or tramadol? We don't do that. You see what I'm getting at?
Xanax, yes. I mean, yes, but why not use Xanax instead of marijuana then?
Well, people rob convenience stores on Xanax.
No. Now you're getting apples and oranges. But there has to be another way to make it.
Why don't we do this? And this is what I've done in Montgomery County, which they are way harder to deal with because when you practice. Why don't I do it this way is get a letter from the doctor that states what Montgomery County does is that based on their analysis and their treatment and whatever plan it is, that there's no other non-narcotic medication.
But I know that any doctor's going to write that. I really
Well,
want
that's
to
their
know
medical
why.
license on the line if they're lying. They're not gonna make that statement, just like I would as a lawyer.
But Dustin, I would like to know why there's no other way to medicate. Why can't they take what's Vraylar? I'm not a medical doctor, but there's so many other antidepressants out there. There's so many other medications to use.
Let's just wait. Well, first let's wait to see if the state of Texas, the actual state of Texas is authorizing that as a prescription. Let's just do that first. And
I'm
then,
going to assume that that is the case.
Okay.
Even if that is the case, we still have the same thing. I'd like to know why there are no other ways to medicate other than marijuana.
right, but we don't stop somebody's medical treatment while we're waiting to get that result. That's all I'm asking is like, let's work, let me work on that and get it, but please do not order him not to use a prescription medication that he has.
But I don't know I don't know if it's prescription.
But if we get that, you say Pursue does. So if he's lying and it's not a prescription, well, then that's a whole other issue for all of us, including his attorney. But today, the main thing I'm here today on is I need you to order him to have a portable device because he has no vehicle.
Do what?
I need to have the change to a portable device because he has no vehicle. He can't put an interlock on his car because he doesn't have one that goes around. So he has no car. You
So where's the car?
tell me that. I have no idea.
It is, it's actually, they just got out the lot and it's at a repair shop.
Once it
So
is
he's
repaired,
going to
he
get a
will
car
put
in
it
a
on.
minute.
Right, he'll put it in as soon as it's repaired, but he doesn't have one right now.
Get the car back.
They said it could take anywhere from 5 to 6 weeks because the axle broke off the tire wheel.
Put an NCIC on him. I'd like to see what full kind of criminal history that he has, please.
And I can tell you, Judge, I've represented him for a long time. He's got the one part DWI here. He has a PTI program for heroin use that he completed, and he's off heroin use. And part of that was the PTSD causing him to use drugs, and that's part of this passionate use now.
Another DWI?
It's the second. That's why he has that's why you ordered him in law, because it's a DWI second.
How long ago was the other DWI? And where was it?
He was here in Harris County, Judge.
It was about like 6, 7 years ago, like 21, 22.
And then it's got the dismissed PCS that was that he did the PTI program through Rick Court.
Last name again?
It's Caleb Jones, Judge. It's all your history's here in Harris County, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He's had 4 total arrests, Judge, 2 DWIs.
That's this one, is one of those.
Yes. A possession of a controlled substance and an unlawful carrying of a weapon.
What
The
was
first
the,
DWI is 2018, Judge.
Yes.
And the PCS was a dismissal. I don't remember if the UCW was a dismissal or not. I don't remember. I represented them on it, but I don't recall.
when was the PCS? What's the cause number, please? Because for some reason I don't have it here.
I can give it to you, Judge. The cause number for this is 2532601. So the carrying of a handgun was in 2020 in a motor vehicle. That was in 2020. It was dismissed, Judge. The possession of a controlled
It's a
substance.
6th case.
Well, I don't have access to this juvenile stuff, but I see 4.
No, I'm not looking at
Criminal
juvenile.
history.
I'm not
I don't
looking at
think he has
juvenile. He has a UCW that was dismissed.
Okay.
Unsatisfactorily terminated probation
On DWI,
from 2020. A year later picks up a gun case. A year later picks
which
up
was dismissed.
a year later
Dismissed.
another
Possession was dismissed. This is this one. But there was this one on the possession case from 2020. That was a conviction, 6-month state jail, deferred adjudication. And then DWI from 2018 was unsatisfactory termination.
I didn't know about that. I didn't know the PCS, Judge. I'm sorry. I was looking at
He's never successfully completed a probation.
completed a PTI program. Didn't he? Am I wrong?
No, it says unsatisfactory.
No, the PCS was a PTI program, wasn't it?
No, I didn't.
You didn't complete it?
No,
Okay.
That one was.
That's why I was sent to state
I'm
jail.
sorry. I apologize if I misspoke. So that was when he had an opiate problem.
Well, I had finished it and
There
then
was
the second I
another-
got out of one night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I drug test you now, what's gonna show up?
The marijuana, sir.